Okay, today's lesson comes from outside, back patio, backyard, garden. Nice day. Um, we're going to do a section on 3-note voicings. These are chords that you form basically with 3 fingers. And the tricky part will be making sure that you get to use convenient ergonomic fingerings for these. So I may draw the chords out on a chord chart later. But for 3-note voicings, there's an example and then an application. And then we're going to do another example and an application. And basically, these hide inside the chord shapes you've already learned. When you play your A with your 3 dots right in there, or like this, with your pinky under the E string so that you're muting it down here. Not. When you play that, these notes are already in there. So now you've got to let go of your left hand learned habit and practice this voicing, which is 0, open A, and then fret 2 on the 4th string and fret 2 on the 2nd string, but just those 3 notes. So you're probably tempted to go like this or this, but trust me, you want to use ring and pinky, because what happens is this thing moves up and down the neck. So you want to be able to keep your pinky on the 2nd string and ring finger on the 4th string. So it starts like this. Open A, and you play them together. And then the bass note moves up a whole step, and then instead of having these 2 in line, they're offset, so he disappears, and this guy takes over because he's right there. So now you have fret 2, fret 4, and fret 3. That's a minor voicing. The parallel ones are major. Those are major, but this is minor. So this offset one, which is part of an A minor shape, but you don't play the whole thing and you don't bar it. So remember, you're not barring, so this should have a curve under it, right? And then you move up to fret 4, so it's just a slide. Pinky still resting, but in position, because when you go to the 5th fret, he has to do the job. Now I would just leave your your middle finger right behind it, not serving any purpose, just as a placeholder, so that when you change, so that the changes happen more easily. So now we're at 5-7-7, and then this is a parallel or inline 7-9-9. So let's just review those. A, B minor, C sharp minor. Now why is it C sharp? Because that's your C. And this would be one more higher, but not a whole step to D. So it's in between the D and the C, so it's like D minus or C plus. Get it? So you're here. And then you're at 5-7-7. Now we're going to slide up to 7-9-9. And then we're going to go back to using the middle finger when we get to fret 9 and 11 and 10, but not the pinky. This next one is a dominant 7th. So when you play an E and you play a 7th, or, so this is a dominant 7th of an E. But you notice the low note is not an E. It would be here. You could put it in, but we don't need it. So what we're using is called the 1, 2, 3. It's the 3rd from the root. Do, re, mi. So it's like an E, but an E with this bass note. Okay, so now we're at 11, 12, 12. And then we finish with the octave 12, 14, 14. Okay, so let's just play those. And by the way, you might want to start knowing which one is the, well, the 8 tones in the, so the dividing is, you know, Roman numerals. 1, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4, 5, 6 minor, 7, which is a 7th, dominant 7th chord, and then the octave or 8. And it works that way. This is the system that session players often use. They don't even look at the A's or E minors. They just go, okay, so we start in what key? Okay, and that's the 1. All right, and then they know they do it in relation. It's relative to whatever the starting note chord is. Okay, so let's just play that exercise one more time, but this time I'm not going to play them one at a time. I'm going to get them all 3. So I don't know what fingers you're using, but I'm using thumb, and you can use ring if you like it, whatever you want. Thumb, index, and ring, or thumb, index, and middle, your choice. And we're starting at exercise 1. A, now move to B, and then offset with the minor. Slide up to 4 for the C sharp minor. In line again, 5, 7, 7 for D. And then slide up to 7, 9, 9 for E. And then take off the pinky and offset for the minor at 9. And then the dominant 7. And then the octave. And the application for that is below. And when I saw your dulcimer and we talked for a minute, I heard you knew of Joni Mitchell. So this is a song called A Case of You, just a little way to adapt it to a guitar. Here's how it's going to sound on guitar. Right? So the application then is for you to try and play that. Now I can't remember what key it's in, and when I do the shared Google Doc for this lesson with this video clip link, I'll probably put in an example of a YouTube or something of her doing that live. So yeah, it's just, and then up to, we're still parallel in line. Then we offset. Then we're back to parallel. And right back to that one, and then parallel for the 2 in a row. And then this is the one where you're going to need to drop the bass note, but still keep this big reach. So if you feel that that's too hard to do, you can also switch over and make the pinky take it, because then you can reach a lot farther So it would be, if you're doing it my way, then it's index, ring, pinky, index, ring, pinky, no change. But if that's too awkward, you can do index, ring, pinky, and then regroup index, pinky, middle. Then offset, then parallel, and then now we're on the lower set of strings. And then we just go back to the A. The ending is more like, I don't know if you know that, but that's James Taylor playing the guitar on that track. They were touring in 71 or 2 together, and I have a really nice vinyl bootleg of that.